Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of the Chad Smith Podcast. My name is Chad Smith, and today is Thursday, January 13th, 2022. And I'm joined today by a guest co-host. Coming backstage, we got Spooky Morales. How's it going, Spooky?
Good morning. How you doing, Chad? How's everybody?
Good,
Nice.
good, man. Sounds really good. That buttery voice and that new microphone, dude, sounding great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Coming at you live.
Live and direct.
Yep. So we both got the same microphones. This is going to be a good podcast.
Wait a minute. We got the same couple things.
Oh my God! I didn't realize what shirt you had. What hoodie you had on.
Right. Look at that.
Awesome.
Came
That's
prepared
cool,
for the
man.
team.
Awesome. That looks really good. I'm gonna have to get me a blue one next.
Right?
Yeah, Sonny might join us at the a little bit farther into the podcast, but he's his back's kind of killing him right now, so he's just gonna relax
he was
for a
telling
couple
me.
minutes, and then he might come on a little bit.
Oh, cool.
But so yeah, thanks for hanging out with me and co-hosting today. We've got Matt from Second Star Survival backstage. He is a seeker of the truth, a finder of secrets. Matt wishes to show others what the unknown has to offer. He's devoted over 20 years to learning all about cryptids, the paranormal, and occult practices throughout history. Matt has a master's degree in cultural anthropology, a bachelor's degree in geology, and a bachelor's degree in archaeology. He defines himself as a lore keeper of the ancestors that are no longer with us. You can contact Matt at his Twitter handle, which is twitter.com/survival_star, and you can find that in the link in the description of the video. And I'm going to bring him up. This is Matt. How's it going, Matt?
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're doing
Hey,
good.
Matt.
We're doing good, man. And do you want to tell everybody what you're up to right now? You're on location.
Yeah, so 5 o'clock this morning, I'm with BFRO, and I'm also with Cryptid Research Phenomenon Association, also, which is a new organization that just came out like maybe 8 years ago. And I got a lead from one of the ranchers here in my hometown of San Antonio that their house was attacked by a bear last night.
In San Antonio.
What?
Yeah, in San Antonio of all places. And they sent me an email saying if I could go out and see what's going on. The residents of this place like packed up and left last night, and as you can see, like that's what the damage has been done. I don't know if y'all can see it or not.
On camera, it's a little hard to see. Oh, we're starting to see something. Yeah, like is that the roof
Whoa.
pulled up a little bit?
Yeah, like the whole entire fascia and everything's ripped off.
Oh, yeah. What in the world?
So I don't know.
And that was
I don't know,
supposedly a bear, huh? Quote unquote. Bear.
Yeah. Yeah. Bear attack. So
Connor says a werebear.
we're out here.
Werebear.
It
Wow, that is insane,
had to be
man.
something. So
So have
they
you-
told.
Have
Oh,
you-
sorry.
I was just going to ask you, is this a first time thing, or have you heard of other bear encounters or, other sightings of cryptids in your area?
Oh yeah. There's probably about maybe between 3 to 4 a month around the outside and what they call the hill country out here.
Okay.
There's usually multiple sightings of big dogs, stuff like that. Usually they call them, they say they look like men in fur jackets. So,
Nice.
but
Well, that's cool that
I
you live in
mean,
an active area.
yeah, it never used to be this active until maybe, let's see here, probably about 3 years ago. Then supposedly dogmen have started migrating out this way from out east. There, I mean, you get the chupacabra out here pretty much all the time. But Sasquatch, Dogman, any like mammalian type cryptids you don't really see out in the desert or hot areas.
Yeah.
They're
Stuff that just wouldn't make sense.
well, that and they're more built, and their DNA structure is more for colder weather, not for hot. Because they got, they have huge amounts of fur, huge amounts of body weight, and not enough resources out here, and wild resources out here for something that size to actually sustain themselves.
Right. So I was just looking
And
over. You said you had or this says your bio. You have a really awesome bio with pretty cool credentials. I wasn't expecting. What kind of got you into? Well, first of all, what got you into archaeology? That's pretty interesting.
Indiana Jones.
Really?
I wanted to be, yeah, I
That's
wanted to be
awesome.
the next Indiana Jones. I wanted to be the next person to go to unexplored lands, find, hidden ancient civilizations,
Hmm. Yeah,
the
that's
city
pretty
of gold, the city of death, places like that.
right. Yeah, that's something that I'm sure a lot of kids watching those kind of movies um, look up to, and
Oh
get
yeah,
ideas for what they want to do when they're older from these
right.
movies. So yeah, that's pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah,
And then you got into geology too, right?
yeah.
What got you into geology?
Well, geology is a part of archaeology. Um, it's more. I did geology to try to make it rich, to go and discover the next, like San Saba gold mine, or um, the lost diamond mines of Alzan, which is around Atlanta, places like that, something to do with history.
Okay.
It all intertwines together,
Yeah, for
but
sure. So
that didn't work.
so geology is more like the study of rocks and like the structure of the planet, right? And then
Yeah,
archaeology is more like uncovering um like
yeah, unearthing, like discovering where, uh, discovering how to excavate something perfectly without destroying it. Learning the timeline period, the history, stuff like that.
yeah. I already got one question in the chat. 509 was asking, if he understands how Iceland might be the geographic remnants of Atlantis.
That's not. They don't go into that stuff with
Yeah.
in college. Like
Right.
if you try to bring up Atlantis or anything, any mythological
Yeah.
city or anything like that to a college professor, they're gonna be like, "No, get out my door."
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Wrong
but
building.
yeah, well, the thing is, Atlantis is supposedly in four different places. It's not just one. Atlantis was never just one major city. Um, it had a major hub, then it had three other port cities to it, and they were able to take waterways to each one of them, and that's why people consider the Bermuda Triangle a part of Atlantis, um,
Okay.
because they believe that's the three connecting areas that's still active.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, I have heard that before where it's included. It is included. Somebody was saying that it was thought to be included with the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, it's just every year something new comes up with a new advancement or a new building found or a new settlement found underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Because see, the thing is, the world isn't the same. We were all one giant land mass, and then the ice age hit, and half the world was covered in water when the ice caps melt, and you can still see, remnants of the land bridge from Russia to Alaska to this day from a high enough angle and when it's the perfect time.
Mm-hmm. So from the same dude, 509 says, if he understands how Washington State, because that's where 509 does live. He lives up in Washington, I believe. And
Okay.
he says how Washington State is related to ancient geology and biology of the last flood and Younger Dryas, and why it's important to the study and remnants to study the remnants of these places like Iceland and Washington. So it's kind of like how does, like, why is the study of those places important, I guess?
the importance to study each place that was actually submerged underwater for how long. There is what's called timelines in each part of silt. When you go, each one defines what time period, how many layers it was, how much land has been built up, and how much land has been taken away from us and moved to other places.
Mm-hmm.
It's important for us to understand that, not only from a scientific point of view, because it could happen once again, but it's also to help us understand the way life was and how should I put it?
So it's definitely important to just study this stuff so that, what they say, if you don't learn about what the past was all about, then you're bound to repeat it. So it's almost
Right.
like if we had more information on what happened then maybe we could do something to help prevent it or to avoid a cataclysm. I don't know how you're going to do that with a giant meteor coming into your planet, but
Yeah, you can't stop that one.
not too easily. Not right now, that's
No.
for sure. But yeah, so I understand Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then there's like the black mat layer. I don't really remember what that's from. I thought it was from like a volcano ash or something like that. But I know there's like I watched a lot of Randall Carlson interviews for a while there and got pretty
Oh
into that.
yeah, yeah. The black, I mean, like black silt and everything. That's underwater volcano eruptions, and it's also a mix between um, volcano or underwater volcano eruptions with land eruptions on top of it, mixed in with both fresh and salt water to create that kind of a mix. So,
So what? Let me think here. Okay, so you got into all the stuff. Like, did you get into the cryptids after your schooling on this kind of stuff, or was it
no,
way before?
yeah. Um, the cryptids was when I was 15, when I had my first experience.
Okay.
Um,
Do you mind getting into your first experience?
yeah.
Okay,
Um,
that'd be awesome.
my my grandfather, he lived in McDonough, Georgia, and he had a 300-acre dairy farm. And we every morning, would me and him would both wake up at 4 a.m., milk 300 head of cattle, and feed all the animals and everything, and we'd let the cattle go out to graze during the day. And around 7 o'clock at night, we would have them all come back in so we could milk them at night, then go to bed. But it was getting around 6:45. Most of the cows were in, but 10 of them were not coming, were not back. So
Hmm.
my grandfather sent me out in the four-wheeler or ATV, whatever you want to call it, um, and told me to go find them and bring them back. And I knew one of them was pregnant. And at that time, we still had wildlife in the area. We still had mountain lions. Uh, we had wolves, but like a small amount of them, but more coyotes.
Hmm.
Um, but we were really worried about the mountain lion. And I was I went out into the far right pasture, close to the tree lines, going into the forest, and I saw I saw the small the, the small little herd of cows together in a circle, but it like a defensive circle. Usually when they protect their young and there's something around, but but instead the cows were looking in the circle instead of looking outward, and I was like, oh great. I didn't know if she had a stillborn
Hmm.
or if she couldn't pass the child. So I thought I'd have to go out there and help her pass the child. And when I went out there, I heard them mooing in a different way that I've never heard them mooing before. Like they were curious and scared at the same time, but they didn't know what to do. And so I got closer and closer. I was probably about maybe 30 to 50 yards away. I was on top of a hill overlooking going down, and I saw this huge creature like over the top of the cow. And I I didn't know what it was because I was already halfway tired and halfway asleep, so I couldn't really make it out at the time. So I
Hmm.
yelled at it first, and I had a double barrel shotgun on my side, and I didn't grab for it or anything because I didn't know what was going on. And if the cow was already dead, there was nothing I could do for it.
Hmm.
Um, but the cows heard my voice and they started spreading the circle. And then I saw this hairy humanoid person hunched over the cow, like holding down its head and holding on to its shoulders. And
Jeez.
I yelled at it again, and it looked up at me. And imagine looking at, remember Masters of the Universe, the old 80s He-Man, like cartoon?
I'd have to look it up because I have a bad memory with stuff like that.
Okay. Well, there's a character called Beast Man, all right? And this creature looked just like Beast Man.
Oh, okay.
Hairy. Yeah, like
Yeah,
big.
I see him now.
Well,
He's
he will.
a big dude.
Yeah, but he wasn't tall, like how the stereotypical patties are and stuff like that. And for the longest time, I didn't know what this was until recently. But it had a humanoid face, like it looked like a Neanderthal. It had the huge rigid brows, wide forehead. But the thing was, it sneered at me
Hmm.
and like growled at me, and the teeth on it looked like it was sharpened, like how some native tribes sharpen their teeth into razors, like razor sharp.
Yeah.
And that's how all his teeth looked. And he looked at me, looked at the cow, looked at me, then it just reached down with its mouth, bit into the neck of the cow, and pulled a chunk of meat out of it, right where the
Oh.
jugular was.
Holy
And
smokes.
then, and I'm 15. I'm frozen in fear. Like I don't know what this is going to do, and I've got a shotgun right beside me, and I've shot mountain lions. I've killed wolves. I've you know,
Yeah.
and just seeing this, and my mind would not let me reach for that gun, and I don't know if I was terrified and amazed or what. Like I was just frozen, and all it did was get up. It picked up an 800-pound cow with both hands, put it on its shoulder, and in like probably about 8 to 10 giant leaps went into the woods and was never seen again. And
Whoa.
I was like, I was stuck like that for like maybe 30 to 40 minutes, like not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because you don't know
ever
if he's going to
since
come
that,
back out towards you or.
right.
Hmm.
And and I had one slug shot and one bird shot. So it was like something like that. I'm not going to be able to hurt it, even if I did shoot it.
Right.
And
Yeah,
then
that's. How tall was he, you think?
from the way I'm seeing, he looked average size. Like from a distance, he looked like he was probably about 6 foot, 6.5 foot tall. But like I said, I was farther away. He
Hmm.
could have been taller, but I was at a height. So I mean, he could have been around maybe 7.5 feet, but not no walloping, 10 to 11 foot tall.
Yeah.
No, that's big enough, though.
But
That's big enough.
yeah,
Whoa.
I mean, the mass of him, he's probably like a smaller version of Shaquille O'Neal.
Did you see that picture that I put up while you were talking?
Yeah,
Did that kind of look like him, or is that blown way out of proportion?
Let me see it one more time.
Like, see how his teeth are.
No, well, like that's more canine-ish.
Mhm.
His every single one of them were sharpened, kind of like how a
Ooh.
3-year-old would draw teeth on a monster.
Oh man, yeah, that's scary. I
Yeah,
mean, even that would be scary, but yeah, that's nuts.
yeah. Like it was more humanoid, not bestial. It looked like a wild man, like a man, like a mountain man.
Mhm.
Like covered in furs, stuff like that. But instead of being covered in, you know, fur, it it was his hair that was on him.
Yeah,
Um, but
man.
and it wasn't like thick hair. It was just like a, a thin, like a thin coat of hair, just long.
Man, and did you get like
So
a what kind of feeling did you get from him when you guys locked eyes? Was he like stay away, or did he seem scared of you?
it was probably both the same thing. I mean, like it was probably both fear. I mean, he was probably afraid that I was coming to take his kill, and that's why he was defending it. And I rolled up on something that I've never seen before in my life, so I'm scared of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm ready to defend, my cow. But and it's kind of like a mutual thing. Like he wasn't expecting me, I wasn't expecting him,
Mm-hmm.
and usually that's what happens with a lot of like Bigfoot attacks, like out here in rural areas and stuff. They go for easy kills because it's hard out here in the wilderness to, I mean, have just trying to just imagine you trying to run down a deer in the woods
Right.
by yourself, like
Yeah. Deer can run through brush and trees and not even blink an eye. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
yeah,
a little different for us to
and
do.
yeah, and especially something that's bipedal, clumsy already because they don't have they don't have the evolutionary arches in their feet like we do, so we can actually step on rocks and everything and not fall. We can actually grip.
Yeah.
So
So,
and just like trying to get through this terrain, like after a
yeah.
deer,
Is that
you
snow
can't.
or are those rocks?
Those are rocks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty rough terrain out
Uh,
there.
yeah. I mean, and that's what I try to tell people all the time. Like 90% of like Sasquatch, um, like okay, the human anatomy, like a human male, an adult male, needs 2,800 calories a day to be at maximum performance. That's, every day you need 2,800 calories to do everything that you need.
Right.
A average adult female needs 1,800 calories a day to be at peak performance. And that's an average adult male, like 6 foot tall, between 180 to 210,
Mm-hmm.
and a adult female between 5'6" to 5'10", weighing between like 110 to 130 pounds. Imagine something that's Shaq size. Shaq has to eat over like what is it, 31, like 31,000 calories a day, something like that.
That's
And
nuts.
yeah, and I mean, The Rock, he has to eat like 85,000 calories a day to keep up his body, you know?
Yeah.
So I mean, these
I'd-
creatures can't just run and go to Walmart and eat every day, you know?
Right.
So
They have to, yeah, they actually have to hunt down what they're eating.
yeah, so they can't spend all their time. They can't spend all their time, chasing wild meat. They're If they can get a free meal, roadkill, whatever, they'll take that.
Hmm.
They're not active hunters all the time. They're not out beating Bambi over the head with a stick, you
Yeah.
know?
Scavengers, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, they're herbivores just like we are.
So, what other cryptid are there? Other cryptids that you can talk about that you've seen in your area or that you've been asked to investigate?
Oh yeah. I recently, probably about 6 months ago, I still have to go through all the evidence and everything that I captured. Me and a group of cryptid hunters went to an FDA goat farm here um, on the border of the Chihuahuan Desert in Mexico, and we went there because supposedly they had a living goat that was attacked by a chupacabra. So you don't do you care if I smoke?
Oh no, go ahead, dude. No, you're fine. You're
Okay,
the
okay.
no,
I
you're the guest. You do whatever you want.
I just I don't like smoking on other people's screens if I don't have to.
Oh no, you're fine. Absolutely fine, man. Pretty
Um,
laid back over
but
here.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Um, but yeah, we went down there, and this goat was already alive at like 10 o'clock in the morning. We got down there probably about 8 o'clock that night, and this goat was still alive. It was laying on its side in like a traumatic state. It was alive. It was looking around, like its eyes was moving around super fast, like it was still looking and watching for something. Its tongue was hanging out, and it was running on its side, like it couldn't get up or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I put my nitrile gloves on, checked it around, and I found two puncture marks in its jugular. I put both my fingers into each one of the puncture marks, pulled my fingers out. There was no blood anywhere on it. And these puncture marks went about 2 inches deep into it.
Hmm.
Um, it didn't even feel when I inserted my fingers into the puncture marks. It didn't do anything. It didn't wince. It didn't do anything. It was still trying to run. Next thing I did was I took my gut hook out, and I opened it up from throat to ass. Sorry. um, then we opened it up because usually when a creature dies or whatever, the blood coagulates inside the skin.
Mm-hmm.
And opened it up. There was no blood traces. There was no coagulation. There was nothing on this, but its heart was still pumping, still beating blood, like still trying to pump blood. Its lungs were still breathing. Its stomach was still digesting, but there was nothing in it.
Like there was no blood anywhere in it.
Right, there was nothing. And after that, we took pictures, we took the video, and then all of a sudden it let out this horrendous scream, and all organs shut down, and it just died. And then that preceded our our investigation to go and hunt, and we couldn't do it on premises because it's an FDA farm, and if something like that got out, you know, and that'd be a big no because it's FDA owned, you know. And so we spent 3 days, 3 nights there, and we found a lot of evidence. And the thing with the chupacabra, people say there's 2 forms of it here in Texas. They say there's the lizard form, which is from South America and Cuba and all this stuff that people say that is a hoax, but that's not a hoax. Then there's the mange. There's the coyote dogs that have the mange, and they consider that being the chupacabra, which in all reality, I've seen one of those dogs, and there's nothing special about that creature. There's literally nothing.
Which one was that?
It's a coyote dog. It's a mix between a feral dog and a coyote.
Okay.
And since they interbreed, they get a bad case of the mange, and they lose all their fur, and it makes them run around like they're hairless.
Okay.
They also say that it's a form of the hairless wolf that went extinct a certain amount of years ago in Mexico, but people claim that that's the Texas chupacabra, and it's not.
Yeah, it's just a crossbreed between a dog and a coyote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's strong, it's fast. Like it can run like up to 40 miles an hour. So, but the one that we, oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's pretty quick, but Brassel was asking about that. Was it a sheep or a lamb you were talking about?
It was a goat.
Oh, a goat, yeah. He wanted to know if the scavengers were avoiding it.
Yeah, nothing came around it. That's why it was in the same position from, the morning till the time that we got there, and nothing touched it. Nothing was circling it, and also we have no evidence of it. We have no evidence of the body because they destroyed the body. They incinerated it because they considered it a disease and burned it, so nothing else could catch it.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what they do with FDA farms. Like if something's sick and it was around other ones, they'll either kill it and incinerate it, or kill the whole entire, herd that it was with, or family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, so that's just because it's an FDA farm and they have different standards that they have to go by out there.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
It, yeah. Well, I mean, in other cases that happen, kind of like that they bypass, so it doesn't get out to the public, you know,
Hmm.
saying, "Oh, look, something's attacking our creatures."
Right.
But um, but yeah, we hunted that thing for 3 days and 3 nights. We got uh we have heat footage of it in a tree sitting on top of a branch like a gargoyle, holding with both its feet and its hands. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention on its underbelly,
Mhm.
there was suction marks, like suction cup marks on its underbelly, like something uh, jumped on the top of it and held on under the belly and rode it while it drunk it to death.
Whoa.
So
That's crazy.
yeah,
Wow.
at first I thought that at first I was like, those aren't nipples because they were the flesh was pulled out, like it was suction cup marks, but it was pulled completely, probably about half an inch out.
Hmm.
So like you could see it out of the fur, like nipples, pretty much.
Weird.
But yeah,
That's
and
yeah, that's weird.
but this thing is, it seems, because I was raised I was raised by the Cherokee. My grandfather and my grandmother were both full-blooded Cherokee. My whole entire dad's side of the family is full-blooded Cherokee. My mother's side of the family is Scottish, and my grandparents took me to the Cherokee reservation and taught me to be a hunter and tracker. So that's that's what I do. I'm a
Hmm.
naturalist. I respect the cryptids how they need to be respected. I don't go out and AKA gift or bait or anything like that. I will
Hmm.
go to a place like this and sit and watch and look at the easiest ways to get through, because cryptids are the same way as us. They don't want to spend their time breaking through brushes and brambles and everything and make life harder on them. They want to take the most direct route and have an easy time because they're constantly moving. Um,
Do you think that these cryptids, all of them or some of them, I don't mean to group them all into this, I guess, but um, do you think that, say, Bigfoot, for example, is he more of a flesh and blood character or creature, or is he a like interdimensional, or maybe a mix of both?
they're all flesh and blood. They, I mean, even interdimensional beings are flesh and blood. I mean, it. They they bleed. They they leave footprints. They leave scat. I mean, they
Right. So they
they
are
will
here.
throw rocks at you.
Yeah, we've heard that from Bigfoot Michigan Rob. He had some rocks thrown at him in
Right.
a boat before.
Oh yeah. I don't know if Cassie sent you the pictures that I sent her of the bone with the deer leg covered in scat that was thrown at my tent.
I don't think I got any pictures from her.
Oh,
I can
I
look.
sent her some pictures last night on Twitter. I didn't know if she got to you or not with them.
Oh, I wonder if she forgot because it does say I'll send you some pics from Matt tomorrow.
It,
There she
it,
goes.
it's all good.
We manifested the pictures into reality. They just showed up. So what
There we go.
there's one of Bones like zoomed out, and then there's one that you zoomed in. Do you want the
Yeah,
zoomed in one?
both of them. Yeah, both of them, because it's still a connected. Like it was used as a weapon because the sinew on the deer is still connected to the bones, and
Thank you,
like
Cassie.
you can use it as a weapon also. So these creatures aren't dumb. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, that was thrown at my tent one morning when I was out looking for what's called devil monkeys, and I was also looking for called the Texas Ozark Howler, and it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was getting up, and I heard this thud against my tent, and I walk out, and there's this thing sitting there, and something hooping in the background, and I'm like, okay, so I just picked it up and put it in a bag and took it with me, and I'm
Huh.
still waiting on the test results for it. Like if
Okay.
you zoom into it, you can see the that's why I put the zoomed in picture is because you can see the sinew connected where the scat is on it. So
That area right there, or do you want? Is that the
yeah,
other picture you're talking
and
about?
well, the other picture is the same one.
Oh, okay.
It's
I'll bring that
connected
one
at
up.
both the yeah
There we go. I gotta just
yeah.
find.
You see how it was dried out and connected together, and that scat is on it.
Yeah.
So
It's very
uh,
strange. Not something you want thrown at your tent to wake you up.
well, yeah, but that also shows you that they do have primate in them
Hmm.
because they're throwing not only just a bone, but it's a bone covered in scat, you know. So, but it's also at a point to where it could be used as a weapon if need be, because that's the whole leg of a deer.
Yeah, for sure. Huh.
So,
And you think that so do they eat deer too, or do they eat just berries and stuff
oh
like
yeah,
that?
well, a lot of from my research and from my experiences and everything, I say they have like a bear, kind of a bear diet, because bears don't, I mean, just because they're meat eaters, their diet isn't 90% meat. It it's mostly 80% wild edibles, like whatever that they can find and forage. Then you know, use the other 20% as roadkill or whatever other wild animal has killed something. And they don't care about if it's been dead or not. They're able to handle that. So they'll just pick up something that recently died, take it to wherever and hide it and eat it. But being an active hunter, no, because that would take too much energy out of them to keep up their body mass, constantly running, constantly searching. It's easier to take your time and move from one place to another, constantly on the roam. And that's why you never see. I know people say, oh, there's there's families of Bigfoot living 2 blocks down from me or whatever. In my experience, no. I've never seen a Bigfoot stay in an area more than 3 days before they move somewhere else. And it's the same thing with any other cryptid, because humans are destroying their natural habitat. And that's why you're getting cases of cryptids going into, subdivisions, going into cities now, because that's where they know they can get free food. And it's easier for them now.
Mm-hmm. You've heard of a case lately or recently of cryptids being seen in more of urban areas like that?
Yeah, 2018 in New York City, actually. I think it was northern, the northern part of New York or somewhere. I don't really remember the exact location, but supposedly that there was a huge 8 to 9 foot tall man in a fur coat digging into an Italian restaurant's garbage bin. And when the busboy went out to throw away the garbage bag, he ran into this guy, and he looked at him, it looked at the busboy, and took a single leap, grabbed the top of the brick wall, and jumped over it, and was never seen again.
Ooh.
So, I mean, but it's not just in America that these sightings are being seen either. I mean, like there's a case in India, the Monkey Man, that was actually attacking people in India for, I think it was a week straight, like stealing food, attacking people. It was a human-sized chimpanzee, they said, and he injured like 5 or 10 people, and after the week he was gone. They had the whole entire like police force and everything looking for this Monkey Man, and it was so bad that they put people in lockdown, telling people not to leave their house at night because of this thing. So, and it happened, it happens all over the world. It's not just America that has cryptids, I mean, even though America glamorizes the big four, but there's better stories in other countries, because in the other countries they're not hunted down like how we do in America.
So there's different cryptids specific to each area. Like there's so there's cryptids that are only on certain continents and not on others.
Yes.
Okay.
There is a form of Sasquatch in every country in this world. I mean, there's the Barong May, there's the Orangpang, there is the Vara of India, there is the Grey Man of Scotland. There,
yeah.
the list goes on. I mean, the Yowies. I mean, and it's not just Bigfoot either. I mean, there's other different types of cryptids that's not even a part of the major cryptid communities. Like,
But you say how they're thought of and how they're treated or differently in different countries.
yes, like the Rangpang in like the Vara of India. The Vara in India are feared. They are respected. There is a jungle there is a certain jungle in India where the Vara live. Nobody will enter that forest. Nobody will do anything to upset these creatures because they know that they will kill and eat humans. So, and if anybody if like any outsider or if anybody with any questionable intent goes into those woods, the villagers would arrest them and throw them in jail so they don't get the wrath of those hairy ones. The Orang Pendek, they're worshipped. They're seen as equal to humans. There's also the what is it called? There's a type in Vietnam, and they're called the old monks. And what they do is they live in the old Buddhist temples, and they'll come out of those temples once a month wearing robes, carrying a bowl, and ask people for food. And they'll fill these bowls up with rice or meat or whatever, and they'll just turn around and go back to their temples and never be seen again until the next month. And they're worshipped and honored. So,
yeah, I had no idea. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and even America has just hypened up with fear stories and what are they called? Creepy pastas and all this stuff of making people fear the wilderness and fear cryptids.
We have in America, we have Hollywood.
You're right. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, that is very true. I mean,
Glamorizes a lot of things.
Yeah, but sorry, I spent too much time in one spot.
That's all right, man. So, what else? What are you seeing out there? Like, can you flip your camera around and show us what you're looking at, or is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Pretty much just the woods.
On
basically.
location. Chad Smith.
Well, I see. Oops. Hold on. Camera.
Oh yeah, I think I was trying to do this earlier on StreamYard and I couldn't find I don't think it has a camera switch option, does it?
I have no
there
clue, brother.
There you did. It worked.
All right. So there is trail marks here, but
yeah, like what types of things are you looking for when you arrive at a place like that? Are you looking for footprints or like?
Well, yeah, you look. It's hard to find footprints for Bigfoot because even though they're a huge creature, they're supposed to be heavy. But most of their prints they know where to step, where the ground's hard, so that they don't leave an impression. But there's certain places like this where it's compacted, cedar needles and everything like that, where you follow more game trails. If you follow game trails, predators follow those exact same trails. And you also want to look at the activity of the prey also. Like, for me, these right here, these are deer hoof marks. All right. And here's the deer scat, and it's fresh, and it's all over the place.
Mhm.
So right here means either the deer went that way.
Whoa, dude, there's two sticks and a cross right there. Do you see that? Or in an X? Right, go back towards to the ground, to your right.
Right there.
Yeah, it stood
Yeah.
out. It stood right out
That's
when
what
I
I'm-
saw that.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at too.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Are you
there-
familiar with the Pork and Beans show with Brian Bland?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not. Sorry.
No, that's okay. He's on YouTube. We had an interview with him a little bit earlier, a couple weeks ago,
Mhm.
and yeah, he showed us a lot of pictures of sticks arranged in X's and in Y's and like different things. And he kind of he's seen so many of them that he kind of distinguishes what each one means. So that's why it just stuck out to me. It just stood right out. I'm like, holy crap, there's an X right there.
Good eyes, Chad.
Yeah,
Right.
that's cool. I
Well-
can't remember what he meant. I think he's probably he's going to be watching this and yelling at me through the camera, but I think an X was like,
It's actually broken right there.
oh my god,
It's
that's
broken
crazy.
to form the X.
He showed us a couple
So-
pictures just like that where they broke it to form.
Intentional.
Wow, yeah, right there. There's a Y and an X.
Wicked.
Yep.
Yeah, X was like Bigfoot and a man connected, like what do they call that? Friendship. He just called it like friendship, I think. Is what the X stood for. I don't know. That's pretty
See,
cool.
that's one of the things. Like, there, each different tribe, or clan or family, however you want to call them, of Sasquatch, they all have their own different language, but they understand each other. They kind of have like a mutual, communication. We don't understand it, but they do. That's why there's also places called like peaceful zones, where it's usually a crossroad where one family is moving from one territory to another and has to cross through, and they'll send out a scout to communicate with them saying, hey, is it okay if we come through, and sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not, but and that's why they make kind of stuff like this. I've seen let's see here, hold on, something there's a print here.
We are on location. This is the Chad Smith podcast.
Reporting live.
Right.
This is Matt from Second Star Survival. We're reporting live on location at a Bigfoot sighting.
Yeah. Or
Connor just said all those stones right there, it might be a grave.
there's another X right here too.
Oh, there is another X. Holy crap. That's crazy, dude.
And there's a
X's.
giant footprint.
Whoa.
I don't know if it's a juvenile or what. Well, there goes my hat. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but here's the heel indention,
Oh, yeah.
the toe, the big
Whoa.
toe, and the others.
Yeah, once you put your hand down there to give it some scale, I could definitely see it after that. Yeah, so that would be like a... Wow, it's still a pretty
A
big print.
juvenile.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a juvenile.
Yeah, I agree with Brassel. We're going to have to get you some super chats on YouTube and get you a thermal camera.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I'm old school. I don't really, I'm not really a technology. I don't,
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, yeah, they're primitive creatures, but they've been around long enough to know our technology, like they know how to avoid it. It's like trail cams. When people put up trail cams, they're like, oh, why can't I get a Bigfoot? Well, it has an infrared beam that comes out, and they can see that with their eyes, and they know how to avoid that beam. And they don't know that it's a camera, but they know it's something red coming at them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's fear.
Yeah, and just because we can't see infrared doesn't mean they can't.
Right.
More likely they can. Probably can.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. We don't know what all they can and cannot do, because there's not enough people out there actually going out there to study them. People are going out there to just get a picture, to get film footage of them, not learn their ways, not learn what they eat, how they communicate, how people want to take. I mean, this is my opinion.
Yeah, no problem.
This is my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of people asking real questions, they want to throw it off onto something else, saying, oh, why does a Sasquatch disappear after it takes 5 or 6 steps? Oh, it's got to be a portal. They got to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
No, most of them have natural camouflage, because look how these trees blend in together. All right.
Yeah.
Something big, brown, and brown and black. If it walks 5 or 6 steps, it's going to blend completely into this, and you won't notice it.
Right. Yep.
Once it walks there and stays still, especially in thicker woods, you'll never know where it is. Or it could hide behind a giant rock,
Mm-hmm.
or something the size of this.
Yep.
And that it's not that they're using a dimensional portal to get away. Because if they could interdimensional travel, why would they be staying in the woods all their life? Why would they want to suffer out in our wilderness with humans of all people?
Yeah, especially with what's going on right now where everybody's throwing garbage just right out their window and filling up landfills and
Right.
the rivers are running with plastic, and it's like, why would they want to spend?
Right. I mean, why? I mean, if they had the power to go through a portal and everything, why are they building wooden structures? You know, why are they breaking trees to make a home?
Right.
It doesn't make sense. And that's just passing the question on to another question, you know, instead of answering it. And I know I probably made some people mad, and I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, man. I wanted to just switch gears a little bit because I keep getting these questions in my head. How much do you look into aliens and UFOs and stuff like that? Not as
Aliens.
much as...
Well, I had one encounter one time, and when I was 18 in the Blue Ridge Mountains, I was out camping, and I was by myself, like I always am, because nobody likes going to the places I go.
Yeah.
And I was on what's called Eagle Cliff in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and supposedly there's blue lights that go around that, and I wanted to see it, so I camped up there to see these blue lights. And it was probably about 3 a.m. and I heard this rustling in the bushes, and I had my shotgun with me because, you know, wildlife. And so I grabbed my shotgun and I opened up the tent and I went out to see what it was. And the full moon was out, so I didn't really need a light. And there was an opening, and I saw these two tall, like 6-foot tall beings. They were kind of pale, not gray, but like anemic looking, like like palish. They had oblong heads, but a humanoid face, like slendered face, and a slight nose. Not big eyes, but more like teardrop shaped eyes.
So not like the big black eyes that everyone always talks about.
Yeah. And they had a humanoid mouth, lips and everything like that, but these long fingers. And there was a tall one and kind of a shorter one. And
how short was the short one?
The tall one was probably my height, about 6 foot, 6'2". The shorter one was probably about maybe 5'10", 5'7", something like that. But they were holding hands and like floating down together. And they came to these bramble vines that come down, and the tall one raised his hand and did this, and the vines just started going up, not like lifting up, but like reversing in time, like growing back into itself, going up. And they walked through it and disappeared, and that was it. Like,
Wow.
they didn't see me, they didn't care about me, they just passed by me like I was nothing. And I don't know.
Well,
there's something out there.
Yeah, Terry Brown just said something in the chat that seems pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Terry said, I'm hoping I'm not offending anyone, but in actuality, it is my belief that what we're seeing is not a portal, but in fact a Sasquatch in mid-phase, in the process of changing frequencies. What do you seem to, what's your opinion on that?
Frequencies, stuff like that, no, because I've had computer buff, I've had tech crypto hunters with all their gadgets and all this stuff and everything. Like, they tried that frequency theory on a radio, on a CR bandwidth radio, and nothing came through on that. Like, they went like, we went to certain locations where supposedly Sasquatch has disappeared and all this stuff, and they don't phase shift, they are. Have you ever seen any other animal phase shift in nature?
No.
Right.
No.
The only thing that we can come close to it is animals in nature being able to chemically change the balance of their skin color, like chameleons, octopuses, stuff like that. But nothing can go invisible. I mean, the only thing that is invisible are jellyfish, but that's all the time.
Right.
They're not.
That's like
they're
more
not
like
just
translucent or whatever you call it.
Right. I mean,
So do you think there's cryptids that when they see those things like the RF meters and all the technology that people start hauling out of their trucks, do you think the cryptids are like, oh, here we go again. These are the guys that have all the technology and electronics, and we might as well just run for the hills right now? And or do you think
I think. Go ahead, brother. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna finish and say, like, do you think that they are more prone to just hanging out with people like you that are just out there being super respectful without all the gadgets and all the stuff like that? Or do you think they're more responsive to that approach instead of like the whole truck showing up with a bunch of gear and people and stuff?
Oh yeah, I mean, look at Gorillas in the Mist. Okay, people for years and years and years have been trying to find gorillas and trying to communicate with gorillas and chimpanzees and everything, but it took one woman to gain their respect by learning how to live like them. And then they started showing themselves. Yes. I mean, if she didn't take her way, because they would just run away from anybody else that was out there forcefully hunting them, forcefully trying to make them do stuff. Because you got to understand, they're creatures of nature. All this technology that you're bringing out with sound waves and everything else, you see how just with your dog, you see how, police sirens and tornado sirens hurt your animals' hearing and everything. imagine doing that to a Sasquatch. I mean, take the same aspect to them. It you going out there, that's why they get upset. That's why they get mad. It's because you're going and disrupting the natural balance of things.
Mm-hmm.
You are hurting them. That's why they're coming at you. And I mean, even me probably on the cell phone is probably hurting the juvenile that's somewhere around here.
Yeah, that question actually popped into my head too. Was like, do you think that we're doing stuff that we don't even know we're doing, like talking on a cell phone or driving a vehicle or even walking with shoes on the ground versus just with bare feet?
Oh no, well, not the shoes and stuff like that, but like technology. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, look what it does to us. Imagine what it does to something that's super sensitive that's
Yeah,
never had to deal with this stuff.
a lot more tuned into nature.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the only track I've seen so far.
Are they able to leave tracks and not leave tracks? Like if they decide, hey, I don't want to leave tracks right now, are they able to?
Yeah, like that's the question that I've always asked. Like I know that you can see one or two footprints sometimes and nothing else. And I think it's because they know where the hardened ground is, unlike the softer ground. Because on the softer ground, they don't have the flexibility in their toes and the flexibility in their feet to grip softer ground. So they have to constantly stay on harder footing. So they try their best to stay on harder footing than going off trail.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is pretty damn cool that you're just. I had zero idea. Cassie didn't tell me. You probably didn't even know that you were going to be out here on location doing this, but that's pretty
No,
cool. It's pretty cool, man. And you're finding footprints.
yeah, and here's a Y that's broken off.
Huh. Wow, just that. Yeah, just that shot right there. How there's a Y, an A, and an X.
Yeah, and it's right up from the footprint to an. It looks like a dig spot. It looks like
Huh.
two fingers digging into the ground because here's uncovered dirt right here, right beside it.
Oh wow. Yeah, something was digging in there for something.
Yeah. And that's why I say, because you'll see more and more, like, that's why I say that they spend most of their time foraging for wild edibles, is because it's easier for them. They can sit and relax and dig, and it'll use less calories than going and hunting down a rabbit.
So do you think whoever was there before, do you think they're there right now somewhere watching you?
They could be. I mean, usually they don't want to be around us. They don't, unless we're actually near their nest or their shelter. Then they start, getting territorial. But if if you're just around, just looking, and because if you show them, like, you're looking at the ground and you're looking at the same stuff that they were looking at, they think you're foraging with them. So they won't bother you if you're foraging.
Okay, that makes
Because
sense.
yeah.
What about looking into the future, do you think that they knew that you were on your way before you even got there?
No, I don't. I mean,
And the only reason why I say that is because I've heard of people say that, like, some cryptids, they don't have like well, especially aliens,
mhm.
they don't really have a concept of time. There is no such thing as time. So,
Yeah,
that's why that question just popped into my head. Like, I wonder if they even knew that you were on your way or if this was even going to happen today.
oh no, like, yeah, like what you said, like, time is a human concept. It's not, it, it doesn't matter to animals. It doesn't matter to wildlife,
Mm-hmm.
and they're, they just know that the morning, the sun rises and the sun sets, and that's it.
Yeah, that is an interesting thought to think of. Like, plant or animals don't know that there's an end. They're living every
Right.
day thinking that they're here forever, probably.
Hmm. Yeah. They 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 don't know that they have a limited life.
That's crazy to think about too, like, because we know that we have a limited life, and some of us still
Hmm.
waste it. Some of us are still laying on the couch for years on end and don't get out and
Not do
explore, like,
anything.
yeah, like what you're doing. But animals don't know that they have an end, and they still wake up every
Right.
day in survival mode. Like,
Yeah.
wake up, the sun's up,
Because
time to find food
yep.
and survive.
Because I mean, because if they don't get up and do something, they die. They starve. And especially especially in rough areas like Texas where there's limited amounts of water, and like from where I am right now, maybe the nearest lake or river is probably 10, 15 miles away.
Oh, what was your
Yeah.
location again? I forgot to ask what state you're in.
Oh, I'm in Texas. I'm in San Antonio.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Nope, you told me that. I just forgot.
It's
Wow, yeah,
all good.
I'm in southeastern Michigan up here, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, we're about an hour west of Detroit. And
Nice.
yeah, in my area there are actually, I think it's like a known fact about Michigan, the state of Michigan, but especially in my area right here in the Irish Hills area, there's like
Hmm.
there's either a river or a lake within, like, I think it's either a half mile or 1 mile. Like, no
Yeah.
matter where you're at, you can always get to either a lake or a river within 1 or 2 miles. It's something like that.
Oh,
So
yeah. See
it's
it. I was born and raised in Tennessee. So there was a stream, there was a lake, there was a creek, maybe a mile away from each other anywhere, and
hmm
Do
then
you mind me
I
do
come
you mind
here
me
to
asking
Texas.
what part of
Yeah,
Tennessee?
Chattanooga.
Oh, okay, so that's northeast,
No, it's I am south, south,
South Tennessee.
south, southwest.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
closer to, yeah, right between, right on the tip of Georgia and Alabama.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Cherokee were all over there.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool to know
And
that you have some Native American background too.
And that's where my side is
yeah,
too, Cherokee Indian. From my mom's side is Cherokee Indian, North East Tennessee.
Oh, cool.
dice, brother, dice.
That's awesome.
Hmm. That's why I found it very interesting when you started talking earlier about your Cherokee roots and
Yeah,
how you got your probably probably got some good training there on how to understand the cryptids, the Sasquatch, and how to deal with them and their place connected to the Mother Earth.
yes, yeah. See, a lot of people don't understand like why our Native American ancestors gifted the Sasquatch. Um, it wasn't as a peace offering or anything like that. It was to get through their territories. They would gift them and then ask for passage through their territory to get to another hunting land. And but internet has, hate to say it, but bastardized a lot of lore and legends and make it to where it's more politically correct now, you know. So it because the Native Americans and the Sasquatch were not best friends. We were all the time fighting with them before the white man came over. And I mean, the Gugway, I mean, the Genesqua, I mean, the Genesqua was called the face eaters for a reason, because they would grab the Native American warriors and bite their face off and drop them to the ground. And the Genesqua were man eaters. They would literally raid settlements and take children and eat them in front of the people. They also made armor. They would go into pine trees, cover themselves in saps, roll around in rocks, and be arrow proof. Arrows could not hurt them because it would just reflect off the rocks. Whoa. That's why they were called stone giants.
Whoa, that's
so
cool.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've heard that.
See, that's the stuff that nobody tells you, you know? Like, they don't want to go into that. They want to say, oh, everything was hunky-dory and love and rainbows.
Right.
No.
They have these names for reasons, right?
Right.
Huh. Wow, I've never even thought. That's a pretty good idea, rolling around in sap and some rocks. It's pretty good arrow proving.
I mean, you know,
man,
it would just deflect off. And, oh well, what are you going to do now? And if you hit them with a club or anything, it's just going to, break the rocks, and that's it.
So what's changed? I mean, obviously, I don't really hear those stories happening anymore, unless you do. But
no.
So what's changed between then and now, do you think?
White man coming in, the advancement in technology,
so pretty much just took
weapons.
over their, it took over their their area that they were living in.
Oh yeah, I mean, and one thing that nothing can survive: fire. I mean, there's a legend of the red-headed giants in Arizona. There was a Native American tribe out there that was tortured by a group of man-eater giants, red-headed giants. They had six fingers, 6 toes, two rows of teeth. They would attack this tribe, and they would also eat the dead of the tribe too after they would bury them. But they lived in a cave, the Lubbock Cave in Arizona. The Native Americans got tired of them and covered up. And one night they covered up the whole entire entrance with mass amounts of cedar and wood and everything, set it on fire and burnt them and killed them with smoke inhalation, and
Hmm.
that solved their problem. And that's the same thing that they did, that our Native American ancestors did with a lot of Sasquatch, was set their woods on fire.
Well, damn.
Yeah, yeah. That's one thing you can't stop is fire.
Yeah, that's true. Let me see if I can pull this chat up or this. Brassel in the chat just sent me a picture, and he said, "My friend in New Mexico sent me this. He said it has. He said that he has a Bigfoot near his work, and that he tears up the tree now and then."
Okay.
It's hard to see that picture, but yeah, the whole tree right here looks like it's all shredded up. Oh, this is all shredded on the ground. It looks like all that bark is shredded.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean,
That would take a lot of work for a human, that's for sure. That would hurt.
yeah. I know some Sasquatches have learned the ability to make fire. I've ran into plenty of A-shaped huts and lean-tos with a primitive fire ring on the outside with basic twigs and everything on the inside of it, and two flint stones together, and for striking to create sparks. And like here in Texas, they'll pull, you can pull cedar bark off, and when you rub it and grind it down, it becomes a fine powder, and it'll take a spark and light up. And that's what they'll do to create fire. And I've also seen broken lighters around, like crushed, like like they tried to use it, and like their fingers are either too big or something like that, and get mad and just break it.
Yeah. How the hell does this thing work?
Yeah, it's like like, because they're not stupid. They can learn. I mean, you can see orangutans and gorillas and everything using primitive tools. I mean, there's a orangutan in California, the zoo in California, that uses a handsaw and cuts trees down. So
I don't know if you saw it in the chat, but Melissa in the chat said, 1 tub of sap, a tub of rocks, 1 Chad, mix vigorously and bake for 10 minutes at 100 degrees.
There you go. You can be a stone giant, sir.
That's right. I'm climbing up in the world.
See, this is what's been getting to me. Like,
almost looks like it was.
It's been
yeah.
made into a spear, but it's
just laying.
I mean, it's a decent sized one too. I mean, hold on. I'm 6'2", so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a big spear, dude.
Yeah.
Normally you have to carve those, or make them.
Right.
You just got one chilling out there by itself.
Yeah.
So that area definitely looks like it's been messed with for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, there's activity out here.
Was there anything else by the house? Like any more? I wonder if there's any X's or anything like that by the house.
I don't know. He really doesn't want me around the house.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, because Texas, and they will shoot you.
This is Texas.
Yeah.
Don't mess with it.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
yeah.
Don't mess with Texas. That's
Even
some
your
pre-
neighbors will shoot you if they don't know you.
That's some pretty thick woods right there. You can't really see past about 50 feet or so.
Yeah.
60 feet, 100
That's
feet.
why I'm
something like
saying it. Like, that's why it's so easy for something that's the same color as the natural surroundings to just easily blend in.
that. Mm-hmm.
You know, it they know what they're doing, and it's natural camouflage. It's not. They're not, the predator.
Yeah. Huh.
If they were the predator, we would all be dead.
That's for sure. Yeah, I don't think we'd have enough fire for them.
No, no. Well, the thing is also, over the time period, they can't freely breed like they used to back hundreds of years ago because there's not enough wilderness for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially with every area becoming a state park or something.
So do you think their numbers are declining?
Oh yeah. Yeah, like dramatically they are. That's why you only see really the patties anymore. You don't see the other aggressive breeds.
What was the name of that you referred to?
Like the Genesqua and the Gugway.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's 4 types. There's 4 types in America. The Patty, which is the type 1. The type 2, which is the Neanderthal type, the one that I saw. Type 3 is the Gugway, and type 4 is the Genesqua.
What's the difference between Gugway and Genesqua, the 3rd and 4th type?
The Gugway, there's not really a difference in them. They're both the baboon type. The only difference is Gugway is more brute strength and will rip a tree out and beat you with it. And the Gugway is the ones that are the smart ones. They use weapons. They'll use spears. They'll use traps. They will lead you, like they'll guide you to a set trap to kill you.
Jeez.
Instead of, like they'll hunt like a pack of raptors. They're also smaller, so they need to attack. They need to put fear into a person by a group and lead you to a kill zone and then devour you.
Huh.
You don't like hearing that, do you?
Yeah, I mean, not the best thing you want to hear if you want to go out on a nature hike.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
what? I don't know if you've looked into like the Michigan Mothman or anything like that, but like in Michigan, we have a couple things that we're known for up here.
Oh yeah. Mothman. I like Mothman. It's just he's been so dormant for over 20 plus years.
Right, that's the one that was seen, I think, in Connecticut or something like that. Was the first sighting?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And it's just been a long time since
Yeah,
then.
at Point Pleasanton.
Hmm.
Mm, I mean, there's the European, and there's also the English version of the Owlman, which is the European version of Mothman. So,
Okay.
it, uh, I, like we have more than the major four. Oh, this is why there's tracks over here. There's horseshoe fungus growing here, which is like it's an antiseptic, and like you can eat it. It can uh you can
That's
eat it, you can heal wounds with it, you can do a lot of stuff with these things, and it can also hold an ember to light a fire again.
that's what that thing is right there in the crevice of that tree.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
right there. And right here.
Huh. Never seen that before.
Yeah.
We don't have trees that look like
See,
that here.
yeah, this is a red cedar.
And it's real stringy.
Um, yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is the bark you pull off,
Ah.
and you grind this down to really fine threads.
Mm-hmm.
And if you strike two flints together, it'll catch a spark and create a fire.
Yeah, it looks
That's
like it.
what they do here.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy that there's different types of trees in different areas, but yeah, I've never seen a tree like that. It's really that's your red cedar you said?
Yeah, red cedar.
That's pretty cool. Looks like you could definitely start a fire real easily with that.
Oh yeah.
We've got those white birch trees up here. I don't know if you guys have birch trees down there, but you can take
We have river birch.
Oh, okay. Is it the same color?
No,
White?
no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, our birch trees, they're pretty well known that you can take birch bark and it can be wet, dry, it could be pouring rain outside and it'll still burn.
Oh yeah.
You can light
Yes,
fires
sir.
with it.
Yeah, that I also teach, like, I also try to help cryptozoologists and paranormal hunters and everything with like survival kits, and like help them prepare for going out into this stuff, because you never know what's going to happen. That's another part of my channel, right? Because it's better to be safe than sorry coming out into these areas.
Yeah, man, that's pretty crazy that you're even out there by yourself right now. I mean, I know um, Bigfoot Anon goes out there and does the same thing. Just takes his GoPro
Yeah,
and starts doing live streams. But yeah, it's pretty cool to just get out in the wilderness. Plus, they know that you're not out there to hunt them or to
right.
screw up their areas, and you're going out there with
Oh no,
respect.
no.
So
And see this fence, and it's double fenced for a reason, and I wonder why. They got barbed wire on this side and a fence on that side, but it's
oh,
all opened out that way, and I want to go out
weird.
there.
Yeah, that is weird how they have like doubled up fence.
Uh-huh.
They're really trying to keep people out of there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It makes me wonder why they did this.
Too many damn Bigfoots coming into the yard.
Right? It's got to be that.
most
Oh,
most likely.
yes, sir. I'm sorry
Yeah.
I'm boring y'all.
Oh no, you're not.
I'm
You're actually
just
not. We've had really good comments saying that this is really interesting, actually. So, no, you're doing
I'm
good.
glad. I'm glad y'all like me.
It's a lot. Yeah, man, it's a lot cooler being out in the woods and doing an interview than just sitting at a desk. I'm kind of jealous that you're just chilling out in the woods.
Well, brother, if you could ever come out here, I'll take you on a Bigfoot hunt
That would be fun.
or Dogman. I got a place up here that's called Skull Creek. That's a known Dogman location, and I've been up there a few times, had a few experiences, but nothing nothing like serious yet. I've found paw prints, but it could have been from a coyote dog or a dogman because nobody truly has a real dogman casting yet.
Mm.
So
Of the
anybody could put of the foot or a hand, or a handprint. So
Yeah, so that would be cool to be one of the first ones.
oh yeah.
What about photography? How come, do you think that these things are easily, like, they know when we're about to take a picture of them, or, like, how come nobody has a clear image? They just don't like having their picture taken, you think?
That I have no opinion on. I mean, because all my stuff, like I said, the last thing on my mind is, hold on, Bigfoot, can you stop right there and let me pull out my camera?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah, I was
if
listening. Go
oh,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, if I see one going and everything, last thing on my mind is pulling out my phone and bumbling it around and losing where it went.
Yeah. Yes, I was listening to a podcast last night. I wish I could remember what it was so I could give it out, but they were talking about the same thing. Like, well, it was Preston Dennett was on UCR talking about how come nobody's got a good picture of a UFO or a really good picture of an alien, and it's like, well, how many car crashes have you had, and how many videos of it do you have?
Right.
It's like, it's not like car crashes don't exist. They happen all the time, every day. But how many people have like an actual car crash happening on their phone right now?
Yeah.
So-
Unless they have those dash cams now
Yeah.
that's constantly going, like it's one of those things that people, it's also the one thing that gets me is people say, why haven't we found a Bigfoot body, or why haven't we found a cryptid body? And I can tell you the answer right now why we have never found a skeleton or anything like that. It's because of nature. Say a Bigfoot dies in the Rocky Mountains, okay?
Yeah.
When it dies, you know how many natural predators are going to be at that body, getting their fill, ripping that body apart, and pulling each part of that body 100 miles plus away and scattering that body to, then you're going to have everything else decomposing that body. And over time, those bones will disintegrate. It's not like they're going to be buried underground like dinosaur bones and, be petrified,
Right.
So,
yeah, I mean, I've spent a
there's
lot
your
of time.
answer.
Right. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time out in the woods riding four-wheelers throughout my lifetime, and I've never come across like a full skeleton of anything.
Right.
And it's not like I'm going to say, there's no deer. I've never seen a deer out there, so there must not be any deer. It's like, no, dude. Things happen
That is true.
that you just don't know about. I mean, there's natural processes that happen, and they've been happening forever, and Just because you didn't
Right.
witness it yourself doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Oh yeah.
Nature doesn't rely on your
It-
beliefs.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
Yeah, Sweetly Morbid Bear
all
said,
of our
remains don't last in the
wait,
forest.
correct. And
Yeah.
you know, like it doesn't even last days depending on the weather. I mean, like here in Texas, if
Mhm.
something dies within the first 3 days, it's already bloated and decomposing, and it's already festered with maggots. So, it's heat speeds up the decomposition. Cold slows it down, but it still happens.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I just realized that we lost Spooky. Wonder where he went to.
oh, yeah, he's been quiet.
Yeah, I was all into what you were saying. I just looked up and I got nobody in here, nobody hanging out. Just me and Matt hanging out in the woods.
Yes.
Yeah, this has been a fun time, man. What's your phone percentage on?
I'm
We drain
glad.
your phone battery yet?
Oh no, I'm at 54.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
We can go another 4 hours.
right. Hey, I've done it before, and I also have a solar charger on me just in case.
Phone battery will not be a problem.
Right.
No, that's pretty cool. So the guy that contacted you about the sighting where you're at right now, is that a family member or just a friend of yours, or?
No, he's a part he's a part of the wildlife rangers committee um, here in San Antonio. So, and he's with the BFRO, and because he has to deal with them all the time, and he's like, hey, I'll contact these people, and they'll send whoever's nearby that will help me. But I just found scat right here.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it's right up underneath this tree. Like,
Oh, yeah.
uh,
Man, you see,
yeah,
like a human seeing, like if we were
Yeah.
to see that in our home or something, that would be a sign of disrespect. So what do you gain from that when you see that out in the woods like that? Is it also a sign of disrespect, or is it
no,
okay?
this is actual, like, you see underneath, it looks like he was digging. He was digging under there and just did his business while he was doing whatever.
Yeah.
Like, like a horse or whatever, they'll just sit there and just do it.
So it's not like it's like a sign or it's supposed to be a message or anything like that. It's just like I had to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like humans, when you got to go, right?
Yep, that's right. Not everything is a sign that you're supposed to pay attention
Yeah.
to. Sometimes it's just like, dude, had too many deer last night.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, it looks like it's sick because it's not. That's what worries me is like it's not hard. You know what I
Right.
mean?
It's not a solid thing.
Yeah. It looks like it's sick and it's trying to find something to ease its stomach.
Yeah. Join us here live on location where we go ahead and dismantle this scat that's laying on the ground. Try to figure out what illness he's going through.
Yeah. No, I don't want any illness of whatever it has.
That's true. Melissa.
See, and I'm seeing that a lot lately with juveniles is like they're unhealthy for some reason.
Oh, the juveniles are.
Yeah, like something's wrong with them.
And you did see a juvenile size footprint, so
Yeah.
I wonder if I'm just trying to put together like the house is tore up. There's juvenile footprint and now a juvenile scat. So it's almost like I wonder if they're running out of food or maybe good sustainable healthy food or something. So they're trying to break into the house or something to see maybe if they could find something in there.
Probably.
I don't know. I'm bad at crime scene investigating.
Same here, brother. I mean, when food is short, I mean, you'll find it any way possible. I mean,
oh yeah. Yeah, if I'm hungry, I mean, clear a path.
Right. What's up? Welcome back, Spooky.
Damn, that was wild. That was crazy. That never happens.
What happened in the StreamYard?
Everything just died.
Weird.
Mine does
really
that
weird.
sometimes. It'll like start seizuring, like it'll start freaking out, then just go black.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I had that happen. It wasn't during a live broadcast, but I think I was on a private StreamYard, just chatting with people, and the entire computer just went black and shut off. It was shut down. Had to turn it back on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird. We have a lot of weird things happen with technology. What's that? Is that the same spot you were just at?
No, this is a different one. This is. There's a lot of dig marks here.
Oh,
Fresh
yeah.
dig marks.
What else? I mean, what else could that be if it wasn't a Sasquatch? Would that be like a deer? Does a deer do that?
Deers do sometimes, but we have javelina pigs, which are our native small wild pigs. They rut in the dirt, like looking for roots and stuff.
Okay.
And
yeah, you guys do have a pig problem or a wild hog problem down there.
Yeah. But the bad thing is I don't see any hoof prints around.
Oh, that's true, yeah. You also see those.
Yeah.
Is that a dog barking?
Yeah. I think it's his. I passed by some dog pens when I came up here.
An appetizer.
Right. Well, I mean, you've seen the picture of the Beast of Seven Shoots. I mean, it's supposed to be one of the baboon types, either a Gugway or a Janesqua, and it's holding a dog under its arm, like with a broken neck.
Mm-hmm.
Like it supposedly it took a dog out of somebody's yard and like killed it and took it off into the woods.
Really?
Yeah. So, like I said,
trying to pull
their opportunity. They'll take anything as an opportunity.
Right. I think I found the picture of what you were just talking about. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah.
Is that him
yes,
there?
Yes, sir. That's it. Yep.
That is
creepy. You see the Janesqua, it's more of a baboon shape and not like the typical patty. It has the elongated snout and the oval top head. Those are the face eaters. Those are the ones that will eat humans or
my God,
anything.
That is straight up creepy right there.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the best pictures I've ever seen of one.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this picture existed. That's pretty cool.
I got your back, brother.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that. Can you think of anything else that looks that defined like that? 'Cause that's you can,
no.
Yeah, you can clearly see what that is. That's nuts. I can't stop looking at him. All right, get out of here.
All right,
He's
be gone.
creepy. Yeah, he's creepy, man.
Oh yeah, just imagine that thing. I mean, you've seen baboons mad, right? I mean, you've seen how they act. Imagine that thing being almost 8 foot tall, acting
Yeah.
like a baboon towards you.
Melissa said, "Oh, geez, I thought you just had to worry about them pooping on your car windows." Nope, you gotta worry about your little Pomeranians too.
Right?
Don't be letting your appetizers
Yeah.
run around outside by themselves.
Yeah, that's always a bad thing.
Yep. Well, man, that was we just did 2 hours. I don't want to keep you too long, but
Oh,
unless you had,
I don't want to keep y'all too long if y'all don't need to, because I'm probably going to be out here for a long time.
we're cool with hanging out with you. I just didn't want to kill your phone battery, which we've already figured out we're not killing your phone battery, so that's cool. But yeah, I
We're
do
good.
like it, hanging out in the woods and seeing all these footprints and stuff. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I need to. It's making me want to go. I mean, I kind of want to. You're making me want to go out in the woods, just seeing you walking around out there. But then you start talking about people getting your face ripped off and eaten. I'm like, oh, well, that's cool.
Right.
Watch from in here.
Well, you got to remember the Genisqua and the Gugway are like maybe a 1 in, I don't know, a million chance compared to like walking up on a patty. You have
Okay.
more of a chance of walking up on a patty type than you do of the other 3.
Okay. Why do you think that is? Is it there's more numbers of them, or is it just because they're not as they don't
They're
hide
more.
themselves?
Well, the patties are more secretive. They like to hide in more remote areas. Then, and the other ones, they've been beaten back for so long that they're afraid to even come out anymore, because they
okay.
know if they show themselves, they're automatically dead because of their history. Because they just look terrifying. They actually are the envisionment of a monster.
Right. So they're like, well, we're just gonna not show ourselves as much.
Yeah, and especially, most of them have pretty much migrated up into Canada and stuff like that, like the parts of Canada that nobody goes to.
Mm-hmm. I just saw in the chat, Connor said Scatman. Is that a joke or is that an actual name?
That's an actual guy.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
Yeah,
it sounds like that song. I'm a scat man.
Yeah.
Skibidi-bidi.
Oh yeah.
So that's
But
like an
yeah.
actual cryptid?
No. He's not
okay.
an actual cryptid.
Oh,
Okay. He's just singing.
Oh, I was gonna say. That's gonna make me. I'll put that as my outro song from now on. Sorry,
Right.
Brassel. We got new music, Brassel. We're playing Scatman from now on.
I don't know. Did Connor see this? See the scat? Because I need another opinion on that. I mean, I know it's older, but it still doesn't have any form to it.
And that's that gray piece right there. It's in the
Yeah.
light right now.
Yeah, I know it.
Hmm.
I know it's at least 3 days old, but
I'm waiting to see if he's still in the chat. I'm not sure if he's even still in here. Oh, he
no, if
said
he's
that.
not, then
He said that 3 minutes
oh,
ago, so he might be in here.
okay. Yeah, because I don't know. There's something going on. There's something going on with them, and I'm I know that some families, when one is sick, they usually abandon it, like because they don't want weakness within the family.
Mm-hmm.
So, and usually they would kill their young and eat it. But
Eat the
since
young?
it's sick, yeah, they'll eat their young. I mean, all animals will if they have to.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, rats
I,
do it all the time. I mean,
yeah, I knew
mother
bears.
cats have done it.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's insane. I mean, that's
Uh,
crazy to think about.
I know, right? Yeah,
It's
they'll
almost
cannibalize their own young.
wow, that's crazy. I know bears do it. I've heard that black bears do it, but I didn't know. That's the only thing I've ever heard
Yeah.
of that does it.
Oh no, they'll all do it. Like,
Well, that's an unfortunate part of nature, isn't it? Jeez.
yeah,
Can you imagine a human just hanging out in the delivery room and going through 14 hours and then just being like, all right, let me see that thing. Let me just, okay. It's like,
right.
we just spent a lot of damn time getting that thing delivered, and now you're just chomping down.
It's like I needed my nutrients back.
Yeah, the damn thing took all my nutrients.
Right.
Only one way to get it back.
I didn't plan for this.
That's right. Oh man, that's crazy to think about. Oh yeah, I didn't even realize my camera's not up. Hey everyone.
Hi. See, like usually they would, if say like the child had a like a deformation or something wrong with them,
Yeah.
because that's a weakness. That means they would have to spend extra time, extra effort, extra resources to take care of that young,
Right.
even after it grows up. And the most, it's a horrible word to say, but most humane thing to do is go ahead and kill it.
Yeah.
And y'all have, the rest of the family has food because we can make another one. And
right.
But
yeah, so it's almost like they have no emotion, and there's no emotion tied to it. It's just like, these are the facts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is emotions to it. I mean, they do mourn it, but it's either it's for the strength of the family. It's
man, that's rough.
Yeah.
It's still really rough when you think about it.
Yeah.
Whew.
I mean, but for something like this where it's actually sick,
yeah,
I don't think they would eat the meat because I think that's why they like abandoned it here, because it's sick. And they're like, well, we don't want whatever it has, so.
Yeah. These comments are cracking me up. Melissa said, geez, I'm glad I never delivered naturally. And Nicole said, you get hungry in the delivery room.
See?
Fap says, Melissa ate at least 8 of my young. Oh, my God. That's half the fun of doing these podcasts is just reading the chat. I'm telling you.
Right.
Hey, Eli family, how's it going?
Hey, Eli.
Oh, man. Nonsense, Fab, unless it was a special occasion.
just a special occasion.
Yeah, at least 8 of them are
She
missing.
made you a birthday cake out of it.
Oh my god. Cryptid birthday.
Right.
You said you always wanted a cryptid birthday. Oh my god. It's so funny. Man. So what else
Yeah,
is
I
up for
just-
you? What else is going on with you besides going on
This.
these random calls?
Nothing. I spend most of my ever living minutes being a senior CO at a private security firm. So I'm
Oh,
always
correct.
on call.
A corrections officer?
No, I protect like VIPs and vice
Ooh.
presidents.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy
No, not
crap.
like vice president of the United States. Not that.
Right,
like,
but still like a president of a company, a big company or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's still really cool.
Yeah.
It's like Secret Service, but you're like private Secret Service.
Yeah. Like I'm a glorified doorman pretty much. Like I
Still pretty cool though.
I say
mean,
you can come in or you leave.
Yeah. Huh. Well, that's a pretty interesting job. Does that ever get
Yeah.
hairy? Ever get kind of scary?
Oh yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Hmm.
I also guard like haunted museums.
Whoa.
I have a permanent post that I'm trying to fill right now with a willing candidate to guard a haunted location here in San Antonio, and everybody's already quit on me guarding it, and I used to guard it.
Huh.
It's called the Onion Hubner House, and
Onion Hubner?
yeah, Onion Hubner Plantation House.
I
And
gotta look that up.
it's haunted. I've had knives thrown at me there.
Jeez.
I got a scar on my arm from where it threw one of the knives and cut my arm. And yeah,
That place looks haunted. Looks really old.
yeah. Oh yeah. And
I can't tell what year.
there was a mass murder there. The Onions that used to own it were very rich and everything, and the Hubners wanted their house, but the Onions claimed the land first.
Mm.
And to get even with the Onions, the Hubners poisoned the drinking water, the drinking well, and yeah, killed the whole entire family. And then the Hubners moved in and went crazy because of the Onions' ghosts tormenting them. And Hubner ended up killing his family and himself. And yeah.
Wow. Wow, and I'm
It
looking
was
at
wonderful.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. I'm looking at a grave site on that property. Is it surrounded by a bunch of rocks, looks like?
Mm-hmm.
Pull that up too.
Yeah.
So that's where the Onion family is buried?
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. I'm going to have to dig deeper on that. That sounds like a pretty interesting story.
Oh yeah.
And this is
And
turned into a museum now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. And so this is just one of the places that you guard, you said?
Yeah. Then I guard the Whitty Museum. It's a haunted location. And I used to guard the Alamo. And that place is fun.
Wow, the Whitty Museum. Oh, we'll have to dig into the Alamo here in a minute, but the Whitty Museum looks like a pretty newer place, huh?
Oh, it's went through like 6 facelifts.
Oh, okay. It
Yeah.
definitely looks really impressive from the inside. It's a pretty
Mhm.
cool place. So the Alamo, I did a deep dive, not really like on a research project, but I got super interested in the Alamo one time watching a John Wayne movie.
Right.
So I had to figure that one out because one of the movies I was watching, I think it was still an old black and white version or an old movie.
Yeah.
They had like a mock-up of the Alamo, and then I read about it, and it was like totally the wrong size and wrong this, wrong that. So then I was like, well,
Yeah.
what actually happened at the Alamo? And crazy interesting. I mean, it's super interesting how the Texans just like held their own and trying to save it.
Well, it wasn't just the Texans. Like there was 14 Texans and 25 Tennesseans
Oh, I didn't know that.
that came down. Yeah, because the Tennesseans were promised free land for helping defend the Alamo, and Tennessee being the volunteer state, that's how they got their name, because they would volunteer for anything. They came down to help, and with Daniel Boone and David Bowie, and I mean not David Bowie,
I was gonna say
David Bowie, Bowie.
from the Bowie knife, right?
Yeah, like, and they all died down there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of dying going on.
Hmm.
So yeah, did you have any experiences there while you were guarding it?
Yeah, I was gardening.
Just gardening, planting some tomatoes down there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's a guy called the Gambler, a spirit called the Gambler, and if he likes you, he'll throw his lucky penny at you, and it'll either hit you in the chest or land in front of you on hits. And I was walking around and everything, and I felt something hit me in the back of the head, and I look around. I was like, "What was that?" And I look down, and there's a penny on a head laying on the ground, and I'm like, and I picked it up, and it was like from like 1901, and I was like, "What the?"
1901.
But
Jeez.
yeah, and I'm like,
What's
"Where
up?
did this come from?"
Yeah, what's up with the paranormal just throwing stuff at us? Like, come on, just come up and shake our hands, man. Throwing
Right?
pennies, throwing rocks, throwing boulders. It's like, I'm right here. Just come up and talk to me.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I think it's better. Like they want you to know that they're there. It's like, at least it's not something to hurt you unless they truly want to hurt you.
Yeah.
Like what happened to me on a live stream. Like I told you about it before we started. Like,
yeah. Yep.
yeah, I was at a haunted asylum where here in San Antonio that it was an insane asylum, and it was like in the 1800s, like the mid 1800s, and it was also for poor people that couldn't pay to be put in the asylum. So the way that they paid for their keep in the asylum was they had a coal mine that they would put them to work in. And and there was the refinery that was working, and somebody lit a cigarette inside of it with the dust and everything, and it was enclosed, and there was like 40 other people in there, and when he lit it up, the whole entire thing exploded and killed all of them. And when I was out there by myself, like always, and I was up on the see, I'm freaking out again.
Why? What happened?
My camera's just going into seizures.
Oh, I didn't see that on my end. I don't think.
Hey, Ryan, brother. Yeah, well, mine's going into seizures for some reason. I looked out. I lifted it up to look out because I thought I saw something black moving by, and it just started going crazy.
So it's like it wants you to see it, but not the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Like,
just
Can you see anything on my end?
I can see the trees and everything. It's just a normal video feed. It's not flickering or anything. Yeah, it just looks like a
Wow.
normal video feed.
Wow. Okay, because like on my end, looking at it is
Ooh, now
just
it's real
freaking
wild.
out.
Huh. That's weird. Yeah, on my end, it's just everything's normal.
Huh. Weird.
Going from, yeah, I mean, it's moving landscape to portrait, but other than that, looks pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, that is weird though. How that maybe your phone, it might be overheating. Actually, these phones aren't too great at staying on for too long. But
Yeah, maybe.
I have
But
heard.
long story short,
Yeah, go ahead.
I was in the refinery area, and I was on a 3-foot ledge, and I was on a live stream, just checking out the area, not doing anything. And I hear something behind me, and before I could turn around, something with the force of like a football player tackles me from behind, like grabs me and tackles me off of it. And I land, and both my knees bend, but my right foot was on a rock, and the rock shot out from under my leg, and my leg went inwards and cracked. And I tried to get up, and you hear my leg pop on camera, and I had to end up crawling 2 miles back to my car to get in my car and drive myself to the hospital. And the doctor asked me what happened because the force of the impact cracked my tibia in 3 different places, and it looked like a sledgehammer hit me in my tibia. Like they thought like the cartel broke my broke my leg for some reason.
Yeah. Holy hell. Where were you at when that happened?
I was in on a road called Bitters Road in San Antonio, and it's called Old Moss Asylum. And but now it's not an asylum anymore. It's called it's a construction site, but it's still there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that place looks creepy.
But yeah.
Let's see here. So the whole place is tore down now, like the remaining parts that are not there anymore.
Yeah, they're not there anymore. Like I was trying to get video of it and stuff before it got destroyed. But the coal mine facility and the railroad tracks and everything are still there, but the building itself isn't.
Definitely looks creepy.
Oh yeah.
That's an old asylum, man. That is nuts.
Oh yeah. And they did water torture and all the wonderful, advancements in medical.
Yeah. Right at the height of knowledge. Yep, I'm sure.
You're right.
The shock
With the ice
treatment
pick.
therapy and ice picks, and
Yeah.
we really knew what we were doing.
Oh, what a good old ice pick will do for you.
You just got to get in there into your ear with it. You just got to really get real deep in there with it. It fixes everything.
Yeah. Nobody will notice a thing.
Jessica had a question. She said, "Has he ever left tobacco as an offering?" But I remember you covering that earlier. Is like there's no you don't do offerings and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the thing with offerings, you don't leave tobacco for like Sasquatch because for one, they don't know how to smoke. For two, they'll think it's food and they'll try to eat it,
Mm-hmm.
and they won't like it, and that can come back on you. You only leave tobacco for Native American spirits, not Sasquatch. But if you are ever going to pipe up, there's a random dog that just
I'm loving this stream so far. There's just a dog all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Where'd this dog come from?
Yeah. I just walked by and there it was. Oh, anyways.
And it's funny how dogs are just like, "Hey, how's it going, buddy? I'm just gonna keep walking."
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, excuse me.
Dogs don't think twice about it. They're just like, "Oh, you're a human. Everything's normal."
Yeah.
That's crazy. Got planes flying over, dogs walking by, scat laying around.
Right.
I love it.
It's just perfect.
This is perfect. It's awesome. We're live on location.
Yeah.
That plane sounds like it's buzzing your head.
Yeah. That makes me worry.
It's out there looking for you.
Yeah. Or looking for something else. Because he is a ranger.
Yeah. You just never know.
But
we were on the stream yesterday, and Sonny was like looking out his window and like freaking out on camera, and then he muted his mic and he's looking around his garage all confused, and then he's in Fresno, California, and then he comes back on camera and he's like, "Yeah, sorry, I just had a couple F-16s flying over the house." I'm like, what? Oh my god! And then I don't know if you know who Jim Goodall is, but he's like a aircraft historian, and we had him on the stream, and he was actually in Sonny's garage at the time. Actually, he came over and hung out with him at his house.
Nice.
Yeah, and after that visit, I think he left. It was the day after that visit, after Jim left. There was a couple Black Hawk helicopters that were flying around Sonny's house too.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh? They're just making sure. They're just making sure Jim Goodall's not there anymore, telling secrets.
You're right. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, they're gonna keep you quiet one way or another.
Yep. Oh man. Oh yeah, Josh was wondering if he could come in. He wanted to ask a couple questions.
Ah, yeah.
About to get trippy in here.
Yeah, Trippy Times, Josh.
Go
Josh
ahead,
Casey.
brother.
Josh Casey from Trippy Times.
Bring in the woo.
What's up, Josh?
We got plenty of phone battery, and we got solar panels, and we got Starlink satellites linking up.
Solar panel. I gotta go get it.
Oh, okay. Josh says, "You mind if I jump on real quick?" Hell no, dude. Come on here and ask some questions, man. He's probably gonna ask you. He's probably gonna start asking you about some archaeology stuff. I know he's really into like ancient civilizations and stuff like that. So I don't know if you know too much about that kind of stuff.
I'm open for whatever.
We were on a podcast one day talking about just like entire cities that have been carved out of mountains.
What's up, bro?
Oh,
that was really interesting.
Crap.
What's up, Josh?
What's going on?
That's a dead something.
I got a carcass
It's-
laying there.
Yeah.
It's kind of blurry in the camera. Can you go a little closer? Oh my God!
Hey, back up, dog. Back up, dog.
The dog's like, "What do you got here, bud?"
I'll taste it
Oh
for you.
yeah, like a squirrel or something. Oh yep.
It looks
Yeah.
mummified. What the hell?
See, that's what I always run into whenever I go find Sasquatch.
High strangeness.
High strangeness.
And look what's beside it. Hawaii.
Shit.
Whoa.
Where's the
Maybe that's
why?
he's giving you a gift. He's like, "Here, you hungry?"
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for thinking of me, man.
Right.
So what's up, Josh? What have you been up to?
Nothing much.
Yeah, what's
just,
up?
Nothing much. Just got my new laptop. I'm about to hook it up here in a minute.
Oh,
How's
cool.
everything going with you guys?
We're doing pretty good. Sonny's laying
Trying.
in bed with the back issue, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Spooky
tell him
save
I hope
today.
he feels okay.
Yeah, man. I'm sure he's probably. I'm surprised he's not watching. He must really be passed out sleeping.
It's all good. All right, there we go.
Connor said you
I'm
killed
just
it
gonna-
last night.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody that watched, and Chad Smith for launching my debut, 2-part debut.
Yeah, man. It was
I
a
know
fun time.
I know you lost some sleep because of that, but I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah. We don't have to talk about that.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I don't
No
know
problem,
what's
man.
wrong. It just went black on me.
Yeah, I think your phone might be overheating. Is it really warm? Is your phone hot?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably overheating. You can turn the camera off if you want.
Oh, I can't. I can't see anything.
Oh, now you're gone. Okay.
Well, that was one way to get rid of him.
Yeah, that's one way to get rid of him. Sasquatch was like, "No more. You're showing way too much on the air. Way too much." So yeah, I kind of wanted to ask him a couple things about some archaeology, but
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
here we
If
go.
he's like looked into some ancient civilization type stuff.
All right, maybe that works.
Yeah, that'll probably work a lot better with the camera off. It's not processing as much stuff.
Yeah, I'm just turning the AC on in my car to cool it down.
That 8. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting you're in Texas. It's like
Yeah,
35 degrees here.
yeah, it's 87 right now here.
87.
Yes, sir.
Holy crap, dude. That's cold, or that's hot.
Summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I've got bipolar weather here in
Welcome.
North Carolina. It'll be freezing one day and then hot as hell the next. Melissa knows.
Yes.
Man.
Oh, North Carolina used to be one of my old stomping grounds, brother.
Oh, really? Yeah, I was born in Fayetteville. I
Yeah.
live in Wilmington. I live in Wilmington right now.
Oh, really?
You guys didn't
Yeah.
drive the same work truck,
Nice.
did you?
Let the synchronicities begin.
Oh, man.
Right?
Same thing.
So,
Matt, we just had Josh
what do
on
you
the other
gotta
day.
ask me, Josh, brother?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I wanted to know some
Oh,
stuff
no.
about ancient civilizations. Yeah. Everything all right?
Oh yeah, it's just we got a really long delay, but I was gonna tell Matt. Are you still there, bud?
Oh,
Huh.
no.
I think did we lose you, Matt?
All we heard was, oh, no. What's going on?
That either the dog is getting them, or that juvenile Sasquatch is messing with them.
Or that dog was a skinwalker. Shit.
Or was a dog man waiting for his camera to fail, and then his camera failed, and he was like,
Stood upright. Yeah. Dog just stands upright. You're mine.
He did just materialize out of nowhere.
That dog did come
That
out of
did.
nowhere. Yeah, it was like as soon as I cut back on y'all's chat, I'm like,
was-
where did the dog come from? Is that his dog?
Understand?
that was crazy. All of a sudden, he's like, "Oh, hi, bud."
Yeah.
Just a dog walking next to me. Oh, his phone must be just steaming hot.
Yeah, well, y'all been going for like almost 3 hours now.
Yep. I didn't realize it was 87 degrees down there. Holy smokes.
So I know mine was a joke, but did I start like a trend of being like live on scene doing investigations?
I know this might have to be like an every.
It works.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw Connor doing it too. I'm like, wait a minute, like.
Oh, that was sick when he was out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then on New Year's, we had this dude named Josh on here with a football.
Hey, I've got that football sitting over here somewhere.
Well, it
So
better be.
I didn't steal that football. I just forgot that I had it. Yeah. Totally forgot that I had it.
I don't see you playing football, so I'm thinking you stole it from someone. But
I did play football in high school, actually. Yeah.
That was the funniest thing ever.
We're
talking to you for like 10 minutes, and all of a sudden there's a football on the camera. We're like, where did that come from?
I had it under my arm. I totally forgot. I was blistered that night. God. I'm
Dude,
sorry for everybody.
We all were.
Yeah,
the whole stream was. No, but I don't think there was a sober soul in sight on that day.
I think when I first started talking to you guys, like the first brownie was just starting to hit, and then like about an hour into it, the second brownie hit, and then by the time the third one hit, I forgot we were even live streaming. I'm just talking, walking around outside. It's no problem. This is a private chat, anyways, and now I see people's messages at the bottom, and I'm like,
private chat.
We're live right now. What in the world? Where am I?
That's happened a couple times where we've had people on here and they didn't know we were live, and they're just blah 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 blah. I'm like, there's comments. There's comments. There's comments for a reason.
This is in the cloud forever.
Yep.
Yeah, Spooky, man. I'm so glad you got to be on with Preston Dent the other day. It was so fun.
Oh, man, that was amazing. I had been wanting to talk with him. The first time I saw him was on Spaced Out Radio with Lynn on a weekend edition.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, because I know he's in LA. He's not that far from me. I was thinking sometime I would love to actually meet up with him and have a coffee or something.
Oh, yeah, he's an awesome guy. It's so it's synchronistic how I met him. It's like when I first started getting into all of this, I was watching Martin Willis live show one day, and they were taking some live phone calls, and I called him and spoke to Preston. At that point, I was still like kind of iffy on what I believed and what I thought was real and not real. But I ended up speaking to him, and he gave me his email to talk to him privately, and I ended up calling him one day. We had like a private phone call, probably for like a good hour, and spoke to him a couple more times after that, like throughout all of last year, and got to know him pretty good.
He's just so genuine. He's just such a genuine guy and very humble. I really like him a lot.
Yeah, that's how I ended up getting him on Chad's podcast and got him on mine the other day.
You're talking about Preston, right?
Yeah, Preston.
Yeah, did you see him on UCR?
Yeah, I watched yesterday. Yeah, there was a couple people in the chat that I had talked a little bit of shit. There was a couple people being a little harsh on him. Like one dude was saying he didn't believe in UFOs in the chat. I'm like, well, why?
That's the way their chat is. They're not really big on experiencers, man.
They're no disrespect to UCR, they're very nuts and bolts. But I can see also that they're being a little more open here lately with things, But,
it seems like they are going that direction.
I was gonna say that's how
natural evolution. It's natural. Yep. It's gonna happen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's realizing it.
Yeah.
I was super nuts and bolts at first, and then when I started seeing orbs materialize from nothing, I'm like, okay, can't explain that with the nuts and bolts.
Not in that category anymore.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's actually been really cool watching that channel progress, because I started following him when he originally made that channel to interview celebrities about first he was like interviewing them about movies and talking to them about movies and asking them about, what do you think about UFOs and stuff like that. And then it transformed into what it is now. And he's had like just a natural progression, like Spooky was saying. It's just like a natural progression that's just going to happen anyway.
Happening to all of us, man.
Yeah, everything's just waking up.
Fall down that rabbit hole, and then it's like everybody's starting to connect together.
Mm-hmm.
I told Chad the other day, all these podcasts and all of us, they're starting to remind me of like the Marvel movies, how everybody crosses over and
Yeah.
cross pollination and shit.
Mhm.
One day it's gonna be like Chad Smith versus UCR.
Dude, what it feels like is it feels like we're all X-Men. I mean, I'm not an experiencer yet, but
Oh no, you are. You just don't realize it. Your powers haven't manifested yet, Chad.
yeah. What's up, Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast? If
Yeah,
you guys
what's
aren't
up?
subscribed, if you're not subscribed to their channel, please go to YouTube and subscribe to Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters.
Yeah,
They
they're
are
awesome channel.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love their Facebook.
Yeah, I had a great time
Oh,
on
no,
there
good.
with them.
I don't get on their Facebook too much. Got a good Facebook group over there.
Well, they just have a lot of postings from people sending in videos or pictures, mostly pictures and videos of sightings.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
cool.
that one time, I've got to get into contact with that one time I was abducted by aliens. The best name for a channel I've ever heard. They wanted me on their channel, and they're pretty awesome. I love those girls. They're hilarious.
Oh, you haven't been on their channel yet?
I mean, I've been on like the butt stuff thing a couple times, you know. But
Yeah, you're gonna have to be back on there on Saturday too, I think. Just saying. You might have to-
they want me on there for a full segment.
That'd be cool.
Those girls are awesome. I love that secret project that they did with Ben and Joe, Double BJs.
Yes.
That was
Yes,
awesome.
dude. The shirtless. What are they calling that one? What's the segment called? Totally
Topless Thursday or something.
totally topless
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesdays.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, so genius. I don't know why I didn't think of it.
That's genius, man.
Yeah,
It's a really good idea. Plus, everybody's been asking for more content from UFO Garage. Like one
Yeah.
day a week is just not enough for them. They need to be on like 2 or 3 times a week, at least.
yeah, and they that one time in UFO Garage, they bring comedy and just this lightheartedness to it, and I think that's what this community needs. You know, it's more laughs. I think it's awesome.
Yep.
Right on.
Yeah, like we want real information, but we also want our vibes to be up. Do you hear a bird chirping?
I do. Just wondering where it's coming from.
You might be outside my house. In my garden, I have tons of birds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it must be what. Yeah, I was gonna say. It sounded like it was right next to Josh. I'm like, do you have a bird next to you, Josh?
It's a bird.
it sounds like a jungle in my backyard.
That's cool.
It's a bird or two mice getting it on. I don't know, one or the other.
Yeah, really.
What's up, Spaghetti Lee?
What's going
Yeah,
on,
Spaghetti
man?
Lee he's hilarious too, man. He brings that comedy aspect.
Yeah, he's got both. He's got comedy, and he's really good. He's very articulate, really good at forming questions and asking the right questions. I'm learning a lot from just watching him, actually.
Yeah, he had me cracking up on
He's got a
New
good-
Year's.
He's got a really good format so far. Yeah, New Year's was fun, man. I'm gonna have to go back. I haven't actually went back and watched the whole thing. I'm gonna give
Oh,
it
I
some
don't want
time. Let it
I don't
simmer.
want to.
What'd you say?
I
He
don't
doesn't
want to.
go.
Oh
I'm
no,
never
we're
gonna-
going to. Oh, we're going to.
We're gonna do like a live review.
Yeah, we're gonna do a
Watch party.
6 month in review. Check out.
Watch it. Shit, I don't even remember.
Yeah, we'll have to do
Yeah,
a
I mean,
live reaction video to that one.
I put way too much kush in those brownies. I will say that.
The brownies were a little too potent.
That's the thing about brownies, man. You have to live and learn.
Yeah,
I
because a
put
lot
like
of the
the-
potency
yeah.
might be on this corner, and there might be nothing
Yeah.
over on this corner.
Well, I put a lot in it, and then my roommate was like, "Man, just put it all in there." I'm like, "No." He just grabs it out my hand, and dumps it all in there. So I'm like, "Well, I guess that's that." You know? Yeah. It was
You're
fun,
sure
though.
not going to let it go to waste.
Yeah, you got to eat it now. Yeah.
Guys, I don't even remember what did I say in here that everybody's responding to? I don't want to either. I need to also. I don't remember
Oh,
what I said.
maybe rewatching New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, we're all going to do it. We're all going to get on here and do a 6 month. Maybe we'll do it after 6 months.
Or at least a year anniversary of it. Yeah.
Instead of rewatching it, we'll just relive it.
Hey, there you go. We can do that
Relive
too.
it relive it while we're watching it. It's genius, man.
Perfect. You'll have to go walking around in a parking lot somewhere.
I want to do a watch party with Ben and Joe.
Oh hell yeah. That'd
That
awesome.
would be fun.
Hell yeah, man.
Start a new podcast. Josh said, "What on New Year's? On New Year's? What did Josh say on New
Spaghetti.
Year's?"
Yeah,
I do
you're
remember
Meister
one-
and Babes.
I remember one point I
I'm
said
so
something like,
sorry. I
think
don't
it's
know
an
what
awesome
happened to my phone.
That's okay, dude. We just assumed it started overheating. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
thanks. Sorry about that.
we just sat quiet and waited for you. No.
All right.
Oh man.
Sorry about that, everybody.
No, you're good, dude. So, Josh, did you have any questions for Matt?
Yeah, I want to know some stuff. I saw on your bio something about archaeology. What is
Yeah,
the
brother.
most? I guess the most exciting thing, or just like as far as ancient civilizations go, what's like the most just jaw-dropping thing that you've learned or discovered?
Mostly the Mesopotamians. How the Mesopotamians owned pretty much half the world before anybody even recognized that they were an actual civilization. Most of the copper mines and everything that are in Minnesota and everywhere else were actually mined by the Mesopotamians and brought over here. Before America existed. They had the most advanced technology for their time, and also I am really intrigued with the Hindu faith.
Mm-hmm.
How ancient India was more advanced and almost on equal to what we have today. They have temples showing their enlightenment temples where each one of their students actually had working light bulbs and electricity running through their temples. They had the ability to stone shape actual stone into musical instruments, intricate puzzles, interlocking mechanisms to open up secret passageways, and we claim Egypt and Greece and Rome more advanced, but we never actually delved into India and their way of life, how they were able to stone carve with such precision that not even our advanced machines and computers of today can cut stones at such a perfect fit to not even put a piece of paper in, and
Right.
they are
And
able
mathematically.
to a lot of people talk about Atlantis, like it's such an advanced civilization.
People forget
Atlantis,
about
we have
Lemuria
no
too.
Huh?
I was gonna
Do
say
what, brother?
Lemuria, if I'm saying that right. A lot of people leave that out.
Yeah, the Lemurians. There's not a lot of recorded literature on the Lemurians. There's
Are you familiar
just
with the
like
Emerald Tablets? Sorry. Yeah.
Yes and no. I never really delved into that much. I want to, but it seems too stereotypical to the remnants of ancient the ancient what are they called, the Galarians, Galarians, that are supposed to have came through a Stargate in Vietnam. You can still see in Vietnam the Buddhist Stargate that the Vietnamese government actually destroyed a portion of the Stargate because it has hieroglyphs around it, and nobody has been able to decipher these hieroglyphs. And supposedly that's supposed to be a gateway for a Buddhist god to come through. Who, we don't know, but
There's a Stargates located in multiple spots around the world, isn't there? Like I believe I
yeah,
remember reading about one in Iraq and even one in Greece somewhere.
yes, yeah. There's probably about 20 known recorded Stargates here in the world that we believe is a Stargate,
Right.
but we don't even know what it is. I mean, we claim it to be a Stargate, but
Right.
it
It
could
is
be any.
mighty. I was gonna say it is kind of really coincidental to me that we have those in multiple spots in like different continents around the world, though, that all pretty much
Oh,
claim to be the same thing. It's just like the pyramids. I think why are these different civilizations in different continents that shouldn't have had any access to each other? Even a way to get across the ocean. Why are they building the same things, and why are they
yeah,
supposedly having the same use?
yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna wrap
Well,
this up, and I don't want to be too rude, but I'm gonna wrap this up in 2
Mhm.
oh, you're good.
minutes because
Mhm.
No problem.
Gypsy Road's going to go live on his channel, and he's got some breaking news, and I don't want to overlap his
Okay.
live stream.
That's fine. That's fine. We
So
can talk anytime you want to, Josh.
All
yeah,
right,
dude,
definitely.
Like,
we're,
I'm gonna have to
we
get
could
you
do
on
a whole
channel
3-hour
sometime.
podcast just on what you guys were just talking about. I'm sure.
I love it. Actually, I have somebody coming on my channel probably next month that he's an archaeologist as well, and we're going to be talking all about ancient civilizations. And Chad and
Oh, that's
Spooky,
gonna be sweet.
I'd love to have you two on there, Chad and Spooky.
That'd be awesome. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, what was your name again? Second Star
Matt.
Survivor.
Matt
It's
from
nice
Second
to meet
Star
you.
Survival. Yep.
It's nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you, brother.
So
This is
I've got.
great.
Yeah, thanks a lot, dude. Yeah, this was a lot of fun, especially with the whole live stream from the woods. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was
Appreciate you doing that.
unexpected.
So
The
Hey.
dog/skinwalker.
Yeah.
Right.
So besides your Twitter and your YouTube channel, is there anywhere else that people can find you? Are you on any other social medias or
Nah, no.
no books to promote or anything like that?
No, sir. I don't do any of that stuff.
All right, man. Well, thanks so much for coming on with us, and we'll definitely get you booked up again really soon.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. It was an honor.
thank you, Matt.
y'all
Cool,
so
thank
much.
you.
That was awesome.
All right, everybody do a
Thank
peace
y'all.
sign. We're out. Thanks, guys.
Later. Peace.